What's up, everybody? It's Denise Salcedo. Welcome back to the channel. I am very excited to introduce my guest for today because she has been absolutely everywhere. She is the TNA Knockouts World Champion, Jordynne Grace. Jordynne, welcome back to the channel. How are you?
Thank you for having me back, Denise. I've been very much enjoying your reaction videos on everything.
Oh my God, those are so embarrassing. But I got to tell you, when you came out on NXT, I legitimately, like everybody watching, did not see it coming.
I love them so much. They're my favorite. I watch all of them, to be honest.
Yeah, hell yeah. Oh my gosh, I love that. I love to hear that. But it's so cool because, as a wrestler, when you see fans post reaction videos and you see people react to what you do, it must be very exciting to see that.
It is. And you know what's funny? I don't see all of them, but my mom loves to watch people's reaction videos to me. So she literally, like, you know how some people like send each other reels nonstop? She sends me fans' reaction videos, and she just like, is constantly sending me them.
That is so cute. Like, I would have never expected that. That's adorable. You're like, thanks, mom.
Yeah,
She's keeping an eye out for you. Now, that's awesome.
she's adorable.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so there's so much to get into. I don't even know where to begin. And I want, you know what? I do know where to begin with this, Jordynne. I want to start off with a congratulations to you because the last time you were here, we were talking about you appearing at the Royal Rumble. Fast forward only a couple months later, and here we are talking about you having made all of these NXT appearances. Congratulations, Jordynne. I'm going to start there.
Thank you. It's been a whirlwind for sure.
I the last, especially the last couple of weeks, I want to touch on that because that there has been so much buzz around. I was just talking about this with Roxanne yesterday around Roxanne, yourself, NXT, TNA, all of it. What have the last 2 weeks been like for you?
So I've been on the road the past 2 weeks. I was in Orlando like Sunday through I think Friday, and then we flew to Vegas, and now I'm actually in San Francisco. I'm doing motion capture for the what is it called? The My Rise, the WWE thing.
Oh.
So I'm here Monday through Thursday before the TNA shows. So I've been on the road a lot, and I'm actually last night. It's funny. I have a deviated septum, and so sometimes when I get hit in it, it like starts like allergy symptoms. So I've been dealing with that, and it's a lot. But I'm trying to fulfill all my obligations with a smile on my face.
I mean, you're definitely doing it. And I was going to ask you because coming off of that match from last night that I want to dive into with you and Roxanne, you got, again, your ear got reopened up. How
They
are you
stitched it.
feeling?
I mean, my ear feels fine. It just sucks because I had it for so long and I had no issues with it. And then the past month, it's happened twice. And so I'm just like, I guess I have to retire it. Like the universe is sending me a sign. So I'm just disappointed, to be honest. I had to take out my belly button ring for the same reason, and my eyebrow piercing, and now my earrings. So I'm just like, come on, man. Can I have
Oh,
anything?
yeah, you're like, this is why we can't have nice things. But that sucks though.
Yes.
But it's also like a sign from the universe that, like, after the first time, it was like, okay, don't risk it anymore.
And it was at the beginning of the match too. Like,
Yeah, I
and it was
saw
just it
that.
was gushing. And then I read something online, which I didn't even know, that they were thinking about stopping the match. And I was like, I can't even imagine if they had done that. That would have sucked so bad. So that's also like something else that I was thinking about. Like, I don't ever want that to be even a possibility. So I guess I'm just leaving them out from now on.
Well, thank goodness that that didn't happen and that everything's okay. I let's get into that match, man. I don't know if you've had the time to watch it back. I'm assuming you
No,
haven't since you've been
not yet.
traveling.
Yeah.
But watching it was so much freaking fun. Seeing you and Roxanne just like mix it in there together was so hard hitting. Love the match. How did you feel about it, and how did you feel being in there with Roxanne?
I think she's an amazing wrestler. She's so young, and I feel like it's really going to be a testament to how good she's going to be as like the years go on. But like I feel like personally, it was a strong showing, but I feel like I could have done better. And I feel like in the future I can do better for the WWE universe, like for sure.
Well, I know that you didn't get the ending that you wanted, but I think it's still like the match itself kicked ass, Jordynne. So, you we were at the Apex. It was a whole entire new venue. What was the atmosphere like in there?
I don't even know how to describe this. It was a UFC vibe. Like the chairs were all like kind of pushed more together than a wrestling show. It was like a, I don't know how to describe it, like a stadium style where everything was around, but it was just a cool vibe. The TNA chants, they always get me. They always get me in my feelings, and I try not to start crying whenever they start like going. But it was really awesome. I got to go out before the show and just see everything and take it all in. And me and Roxanne were like on the merch stand, which I didn't expect. So it was all just really overwhelming.
Oh my God, that must have been a cool experience. It was cool to kind of see how they sort of just redid the
Yeah.
Apex to fit a pro wrestling program. So that was freaking cool. All right. So I got to ask you because I think at this point, I've watched the video like 5 times now. The one with you and Sexy Red and Shawn
Oh
Michaels.
my
I
god.
have a lot of questions with that. First of all, I mean, going back there and getting to work with Shawn Michaels the last couple of weeks, Shawn Michaels, who is literally a freaking legend, an icon, and has done so
I
much.
know.
What was that even like for you and the relationship that you guys formed in the last couple of weeks?
It's so fun. He's so down to earth and nice, and it's, you know how they say never meet your heroes because you never know how they're gonna be. Like, that's not Shawn Michaels at all. Like, if Shawn Michaels is a hero to you, you should definitely meet him because he's just like the nicest person. He welcomed my husband into the locker room like without even blinking an eye. He's really the nicest person, and not a lot of like legends are like that. So it was a little bit surprising, but I'm very happy that he's like that. And I love that he loved my hat. So that made me happy too.
I was going to ask you about that. What was his reaction to that? By the way, clever idea.
So I gave it to him, and he put it on right away, and he started taking selfies in it. And I actually was taking photos of him from across the room, like taking selfies of himself, because he's just like he reminds me of my grandpa a little bit, because he's like he has his glasses like to read the phone, like he's awesome. He's awesome.
I feel like we got to see you share those eventually. I hope you do decide
Oh
to share
man,
them.
I don't want to get in trouble, so
That's
I'm
true.
just gonna keep those to myself.
Yeah, you got to keep some things to yourself. We'll just all imagine it here, but that's so freaking cute. And when you're there, obviously you're in an entirely new environment. And was there anything like any feedback? I don't even want to say criticism because I'm not sure, not criticism, but any feedback that was given to you or any sort of like pep talk ahead of the show?
It's a different like way of doing things because they have a lot more cameras. So they always want to go over things like specifically for what camera is going to be like done where, if you know what I mean. So I have to kind of get used to that because I'm used to just like, one like roaming camera on the ground and then the one straight ahead. But they got like cameras up here, camera over there, camera inside the ring, which is bizarre to me, but I got used to that. So just those small things, not like the wrestling itself, but just the way that things are set up.
Yeah, saying all of that, you're like, oh, let me make a face to this camera, make a face to that camera, do
Yes.
all of that. You have to be so cognizant of where that's at. But that must be like a really cool experience. So, with that being said, I think about how you did the Rumble appearance, and then you did these NXT appearances, and those are the moments that you've had in WWE. And for so many wrestlers, it's like the dream to get to WWE. So for you, being there and having those opportunities, I guess my question is it what you expected it to be, or was what took you, if anything, by surprise?
So I've done extra work like in the past before I got signed to TNA, and it's a different era for sure. Like it's a completely different experience. And I feel like if I had come in a different way, or if I hadn't have been in TNA for so long, if I didn't come in as who I am now, it would have been a different experience. So it isn't what I expected because what I expected, I never expected to come in the way that they're treating me. Like I'm important. I never expected that. So I can definitely say that it's not what I expected at all.
That's cool though, to be able to come in sort of on, in your own terms. Of course, you have TNA that's making the
Yeah.
shots, calling the shots, and doing all of that alongside WWE. But the fact that you're coming in and, like you said, you're being treated like a big deal. Like, not everybody gets that, and I'm sure you were at a point in your career where you probably never thought that that was possible.
No, and it's crazy because people have come into WWE who were big deals in their company and they weren't treated like this. So you really know it's a new era because I'm kind of the first of that kind where the person's outside accomplishments outside of WWE are being acknowledged inside of WWE. And so it's just crazy that it's me that's happening to.
You're like, how did I even get here? Which, I mean, it's obviously work, but
Literally, that's what I'm
still.
thinking. Like every day I'm like, okay, wake up. Like
Yeah, yeah. And I feel like now that it sort of feels like there's nothing out of the realm of possibility of things that can happen. So I want to start off by asking you, you came out wearing the NXTNA on the insignia on your back. I mean, what can you tell us? What do you hope for in terms of there possibly being more of a collaboration between the both promotions?
I hope it's gonna continue on. I hope like obviously if you do it too much, it's gonna not be special anymore. But I do think that there's things you can do. Like, can you imagine Josh Alexander wrestling Chad Gable? Like that'd be special. Or even my husband, Jonathan Gresham, wrestling Chad Gable would be amazing. And you have like the Rascals reuniting with Dez. I feel like there's so much that can be done. And I think that all that is just super exciting for fans and it's good for wrestling in general. And ultimately, I'm obsessed with the idea of a Worlds Collide pay-per-view. Like that is the apex to me. That's like the ultimate thing, like a yearly pay-per-view where that happens and all the matches that fans dream about can finally come to fruition. Like that's like, my pie in the sky dream.
I love that. Grab that pie in the sky. Jordan, it's interesting to me because it's like, now that you've done these appearances, you more than anyone's going to know how much things have changed for you in terms of like a popularity front, more people learning and hearing about you and stuff like that. How has your career changed or evolved in just this from the start of this year to where we are right now?
So obviously I'm wrestling the exact same way. I'm the exact same Jordynne Grace. I've been in TNA for years now, but the only thing that's different is that WWE has that exposure, that national exposure, and I feel like I'm getting acknowledgement now. Like that's like the big thing. People are going out of their way to try to figure out who I am. Like they're hearing my name in WWE and they're going to the TNA YouTube or they're going to, watch the shows online on the TNA Plus app. I see people saying they're downloading the app so they can go watch my matches. So I think that's the big thing with WWE is like the exposure that you get. It's literally millions and millions of fans.
And now, speaking of going and downloading and watching your matches and all of that against all odds, June 14th, I'm very excited because you have an open challenge. And I think right now that we're talking about all of these things happening in pro wrestling, I think the fans are starting to get like, oh, what does this mean? Are we going to see somebody that, like, who is the person that's going to come out? Obviously, you don't know that yet, but I'm curious. What are your hopes for this open challenge?
I mean, my hopes are obviously that it's someone from WWE. Like I kind of went into their world, so I feel like they kind of got it to come into mine. I wanna wrestle on my home turf against one of theirs, and I feel like it's only fair. I came over there, so they got to send someone over here.
You're like, fair is fair. We got to do it this way.
Yes,
But
exactly.
so with that being said, that brings me to my other question is that you had a couple of backstage interactions with a couple of girls on NXT and obviously a lot more backstage. But when you see all of these girls, because their NXT women's division is very, very strong. You come from a very strong knockouts division as well. But being in that locker room with all of those girls, what was that like? And who are some of the people that you were just like, damn, like I'm impressed by them?
Okay, the first person that comes to my mind is Lash Legend. Um, Seriously, because she's so tall. Like she looks tall in the ring. She is shockingly tall in person. Like she's probably like a foot taller than me. And then she also wears heels on top of it. And I remember one of our first interactions. I was like, you know you don't need to be wearing those. Like you're making me look even shorter than I already am. And then she started telling me like how she's actually considered undersized, like in the WNBA. Like she's 6 foot, which is obviously super tall, but I guess it's undersized in the WNBA. But she's amazing, and I think that bump that she took on the ladder last night, man. Yeah, I could feel her passion. Like no one's gonna do that if they don't love wrestling.
Definitely not. Like seeing her hit the ladder, I was like, ouch. Like that's one of the moments that like everybody feels.
No, I literally jumped up. I was like, oh my God, her ass. Like, I know she felt that.
So Jordynne, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to do this interview. It was kind of fun to, pick your brain and see where everything is at. My last question to you was going to be, how are you planning on celebrating, rewarding yourself for these accomplishments?
Show you right now.
Ooh, okay. We're getting the tour.
You're getting the tour of my room right now. I know
Oh, hell yeah.
people are
Pizza.
gonna go
What
mad.
toppings? Oh,
Pineapple.
you're a pineapple.
I know, I'm gonna make people mad.
I know I'm anti-pineapple, Jordynne. But
What?
you gotta
You
do.
like pineapple. It's so good. Okay, okay. We won't even get into it. That's a different interview, okay?
I love it. While you enjoy your pineapple pizza, I want to thank you so much. Before we go, let the people know where they can follow you and support you and watch TNA.
Okay, you can watch TNA on the TNA Plus app. You can download it. Uh, and then you can also, if you have Access TV, you can watch it there. You can follow me on pretty much every single platform at Jordynne Grace. It's spelled JORDYNNE, if you can see my name on the screen. And yeah, that's where you can find me.
Perfect. I'm going to post all of the links to that in the description box below. Thank you so much to everybody who watched. And thank you so much to Jordynne. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye, everyone.
Bye.